See people, what is up? Coming at you with another different style of video today. In today's video we're going to be going over my honest review on the brand new Transition TR11, what I expected, what I didn't expect, what I'm looking forward to, and yeah, what I'm excited to see. So without further ado, let's sit you down and we're straight to the video. So obviously Transition's come up with an entirely different bike frame this year, but entirely different bike. As you guys will probably know, the old shock used to run across this way. I don't know whatever the fancy tech-savvy word for that is, but obviously this year we've got a totally different bike and shock setup, which is a massive shock, and it's great, and I think it's super innovative, and obviously it transforms the way the bike rides. So obviously in last year's model, because of the shock design, I struggled to find a bit of the carrying of speed on it. And yeah, I just found that it kind of bogged into a few sections just purely because of the way the bike was designed to go. It was very parky, which I had no problem because it ripped in the bike park, but on like a race trail, and you know, when you're trying to go super fast, it kind of lacked out a little bit. But with this year's model in particular, it's just so incredible. The speed it carries due to its new shock path, the GO is so insane, especially the length and everything. So obviously this year I'm on a large, spec'd out with the full SRAM components, Mavens, the brand new Vivid, brand new boxes which are insane, and we'll cover them in a later video. Obviously all SRAM gear, the new Crank Brother Synthesis wheels, these things are insane. And then yeah, obviously Maxxis tires, OD grips, Darty bars, everything, the best specs, all that you could ask for. So let's get into some of the tech-savvy stuff. Obviously I don't know that well, so I'm just gonna whip it up on my phone here. So I've got a few more of the build specs through a proper tech-savvy way. Just done a bit of research for you guys, you don't have to guess. So obviously it's not a refinement, it's a total change, which is something which has revolutionized the way this bike rides. So let's rip through it. So the 2025 TR11 had 200mm rear travel, whereas the 2026 TR11 has 211. So I guess if you like the big chundery stuff, this bike's gonna do exactly what you want. But I will say, I only just found that out now that it's got 211mm travel, but it carries speed 1,000 times better than the old bike when it only had 200mm travel. So I think that's a testament to just how good and different the bike is this year. Obviously front travel's the same, 200mm between the years. There you are, look, another new fact for you. So 2025 TR11 was a 29 or a mullet, depending on the build. But this bike is mullet only. It has to be around 29, 27.5, so all my downhillers out there, you guys will froth that, because that is exactly what you guys are after, is a mullet build. So the shock, the TR11 had to, this is air or coil compatible, obviously that was similar to the old one. It used to come stock with the air, and obviously this one comes stock with the air as well. The leverage curve on the last one was single, and on this one is linear or progressive selectable. So obviously don't quote me on these, I don't know if my terminology is correct. I'm just doing what I can with being as tech savvy as possible. The geometry adjustment on the last bike had a few little switcheroos you could do, but this one, this is where this bike really jumps out of the water. So obviously the VB height can be changed, the head angle can be changed due to headset cubs, the reach and the chainstay are all adjustable. There's also a little flip chip just down here that is also adjustable. So as I said already, last year's model was more playful, free ride orientated, but this one is more race orientated with. So now some other major things that you guys will absolutely froth over. As you may have seen, last year's bike was on Fox, and I know that like a lot of people love rock shocks, and this year's model is full rock shocks. Brand new Zeb will come with it, brand new build will come with it, pretty similar to this. There's one build spec that you can buy it as. So I'll give you a bit more tech savvy if you want. The previous bike used Transition's horse link layout with a relatively progressive leverage curve that clearly preferred a coil shock. It was like more of a fun DH bike, well coordinated, but it wasn't regarded as the most World Cup style race bike, as I've said. So new forged rocker on this bike, new forged rocker, new forged chainstay yoke, redesigned main pivot area, mixed wheel specific chassis, designed equally around air or coil shocks, and it has a new leverage curve with 2 settings instead of the 1 leverage curve you used to get, so progressive or linear as I said before. Linear mode gives you maximum traction, more active rear end, more suited to rough natural tracks, especially good with coil shocks. So if you were riding, I don't even know, so for a World Cup track, I would probably go towards the linear mode due to everything going linear, but like the new boxer is linear and the new rear shocks. But if you are to put it, so look, right now, this is what it is down the bottom here. I figured out what this flip chip is. It's a linear progressive mode. So right now, I think I've got that set to the linear mode. So I'm already in the race mode. So I'd say if you want to have a bit more fun on this bike, you put in progressive mode. This gives you more mid-stroke support, more pop, stronger bottom out resistance, and works particularly well with air shocks or jump heavy tracks. Now, you're going to be saying, I've got an air shock here, and what's the difference? Well, the new SRAM Australia Rock Shocks, Vivid Air Shocks, are the best shock you'll ever run. Butter, dialed, that's all I got to say. You should go buy one. 2025 Geo looks like this. Small was a 413 reach, 435 chainstay, 63-degree angle. That was the same for all of them. Same as last year's chainstay was 435, consistent through all bikes. But the medium had a 433 reach, large had a 453 reach, and the extra large had a 473 reach. And obviously it had fixed chainstays, fixed geometry, so it was very limited adjustment. You got what you were given. But this year, this is where it starts getting crazy. So the chainstay on the small and the medium on these is 447, consistent with each other. But then the large, 452, and the extra large is also 452. So you've got two different chainstay lengths. Obviously, if it's a longer bike, it's going to be way longer. And the reach, so 415 for a small, 445 for a medium, large is 476, and extra large is 506. Wheelbase changes as well, obviously. The head angle on this bike is now 62.6, and it's adjustable plus or minus 0.5 of a degree. So you can run it at 62.1 or 63.1. So if you prefer the old feel, then you could. Or if you want a more, is it slacker? Yeah, if you want a slacker feel, you could also make that. The bottom bracket is adjustable, plus or minus 7 mil, which is a lot of change in a bottom bracket. And the chainstay has 4 dropout positions. So it has 0, plus 5, plus 10, and plus 15 mil. And small and medium ship with the shortest dropouts, while large and extra large are 1 step longer. So what changed? The reach increased roughly 2 mil, 12 mil, 23 mil, 33 mil, and the chainstays become a lot longer. So they went up like 12 to 15 mil, giving it a way more planted feel. So as I've just told you then, those are the main like tech specs that come with this, covering this, bottom bracket, this, the chainstay as well. So this is a few other things that they've changed, and what were they actually trying to achieve? Because obviously you can fix the bike, play around with the bike, but what are you trying to achieve with the bike? Better front wheel grip, so the longer front center and longer rear center move the rider into a more balanced position, so it makes it less twitchy, so to speak. So instead of coming into a corner and feel like a little bit of a twitch, it just means you can come in and just be like, you know what I mean? Push straight through it. The more composure at race speed. So as I said before, you've got more rear travel, the bike's longer, it's more stable, the head angle's a little bit slacker. You can just let her eat a bit more. Just straight line speed is incredible. I've ridden this many days, and I will say this is probably the most insane bike that I have ever ridden. That is no glaze and no bias, but I just reckon it's insane. I reckon, I just don't even know what to say. It's an incredible bike, and it's done super well. Obviously now it's an easier suspension setup with more options, so that kind of sounds a little bit counterintuitive, but due to the fact that it can be ran with an air and a coil, and both are equally as good, it just means that, well, first off, if you want to run air in a progressive mode and run your bike a little bit stiffer, you can do that. But if you want to run your bike with a coil and in progressive mode, you can also do that. Same as an air in linear mode, and so on and so forth. There's so many different ways it can be done. It's time that I tell you what my thinking is on this bike. So obviously I've done a couple rides on it at this point, and I'm going to do many more rides on it leading up to World Champs in finale for Enduro. But just compared to last year, so I'm going to do a big comparison. So last year's had a few things that were everyone who rode a Transition really wanted to change. We wanted the carrying speed change, we wanted it to feel more stable. It just didn't have what it took to be raced on a World Cup level, if you know what I mean. And obviously if you want to go fast on a bike, you need to be comfortable on it, and I think a lot of people were struggling just getting their confidence up because the bike wasn't working 100% right. There was that obviously coil thing and everything else that was included in the bike. But yeah, so I think the old bike was just designed for something else, and then everybody was trying to get it to this point, but it wasn't designed for that, so obviously you were never going to get it feeling the way that a professional downhill racer would have wanted it. But I can say, with this year's model, all of that can be gone. Your stress can be free about this. This bike, bit longer, bit stiffer, It's more compatible with other things, as well as just the new technology that's coming out. It just makes it such an incredible rig. And I know that if you guys have ever ridden a new Boxer with a new Vivid or anything like that, you just know how insane it is. And obviously I'm very grateful to have an opportunity to ride one of these pretty early when they came out. But I would say if you're looking for a playful bike that gives you that fun, a little bit of twitchiness, and you're not really wanting to race it at a higher downhill level, then I would definitely say the old TR11 is. If you have one, then I'd definitely say that's a fun and a good bike. But if you want to be race driven and have some freaking fun flying down a hill and know that the bike's going to give you everything you want it to, and there's so much forgiveness on it just because of how well it's designed, then you want to ride this thing. This thing is incredible. The new TR11 is just absolutely spot on, and I just remember first riding it, I think second lap I had confidence on it, and it was just, that's coming up a size as well. I used to ride a medium and now I'm on a large, and yeah, it's insane. I love it. And yeah, make sure you guys go have a look at one. They're a bloody good price as well. Transition's always been good with that. Good prices and insane good spec of bikes. So yeah, make sure to go check it out. Have some fun on them, and yeah, I'll catch you later.